it's kind of nice that it's going to be the second bollocks. Heya, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be watching the first episode of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I know I'm pretty late getting to this one. It's not that I didn't want to watch it. I think there was something else on at the time and I was pretty busy back then, so I knew I didn't have time to kind of watch both of them. I think the other thing might have been The Wheel of Time, because I more recently read the Wheel of Time's books. I kind of opted to watch that instead. So with Lord of the Rings, I've watched the three main movies. I haven't watched The Hobbit, but I watched those not long after they released, so I think it was like back in 2005 maybe. So it's been a while since I've watched them. I also read the books as well, but that's going on like at least 20 years ago that I read the books as well. So I'm familiar with Lord of the Rings. I know like the universe, I know kind of what it involves. This is one of those shows that I keep meaning to sit down and watch and have not gotten around to. So it's kind of nice that it's going to be the second show that I do on the channel. And again, one season, so it's nice and small to kind of get me into the swing of things before I sort of jump into anything sort of bigger as well. So I'm not sure when this is set. I'm not sure if it's before or after the events of the books or the movies. If it's completely unrelated, if it's just in the same universe, I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing because of the title Rings of Power, it's got something to do with the One Ring and maybe the actual all of the rings, because wasn't there like I said, it has been a while since I read the books or watched the films, but isn't there like several rings like the one that Frodo had, and like what wasn't one given to man and one was given to somebody else and one was given to somebody else, and one of them, yeah, I'm sure there was a few, so maybe that's what this is about. On the other hand, it might not be at all. I think probably the best thing to do is to jump in and find out what this is all about. Hopefully it's not going to be sad. I don't have any tissues with me today, which is probably going to be a mistake, but we'll see what this brings. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 1 of The Rings of Power.
Nothing is evil in the beginning. There was light.
Ears. She's got elf ears.
It's not going to float. To sail. Stop! Stop, don't! Stop, you break it! No! Stop, you break it! Stop! I told you it wouldn't float.
Bastard.
Give up me!
Lose your footing again, Galadriel.
It was a good ship, sister. But the ship has a secret. Her gaze is not downward but up, fixed upon the light that guides her.
But sometimes it's hard to say which way is up and which way is down. How am I to know which lights to follow?
She's got really striking blue eyes. Wow. Can I live there, please?
So when the great foe Morgoth destroyed the light,
It's the Erd Tree.
we left Valinor, our home, and journeyed to a distant realm, a place known as Middle-earth.
Goosebumps. Dragons! Yes! Oh no, is that the brother? That's her now, I'm taking it.
But Sauron found him first, and marked his flesh
He
with a
scratches in
symbol.
his arm.
His vow became mine. And so, we hunted.
Whoa.
More and more of our kind began to believe that Sauron was but a memory. And the threat, at last, was ended.
Yeah,
I could be one of them.
absolutely screw that.
Commander Galadriel,
Galadriel.
this company has followed you to the very edge of the world. But none who ever dared search for this last stronghold has ever found anything. It's been years since the last orc was sighted. Is it not possible the other commanders are right? How long can living flesh endure where even sunlight fears to tread?
We are losing the light.
That seems like it would be a bit chilly.
There's nothing out here. We should have been there by now.
Oh wow.
This place is so evil, our torches give off no warmth. This way.
Oh dear, what's watching them? God, that made me jump.
What devilry is this?
Some dark sorcery of old. Even stone cannot hide the mark of one whose very hand is flame unquenched.
That was what was on her brother.
Sauron was here. Tell the others to rest while they can. At sunrise we move on.
We exceeded our orders months ago.
Well, she seems determined. Oh god.
We march at first light.
Then you shall do so alone.
I was trying to decide if that was like giant moose, but obviously it's not, it's just the horns. Horns? Antlers.
Dangerous creatures they are.
You're making it up.
Hobbits.
Travelers, at this time of year.
The last time we had travelers this early, it was the Great Frost.
More than likely they just got lost.
But the winds are still out there.
They'll be fine. Goldie, Nori's with them. You know Nori.
Yes, I do.
Can we turn back now? There's 110 things out here that could kill us. You know the rules. We're not supposed to be out this far.
If we didn't do everything we weren't supposed to do, we'd hardly do anything at all.
This can't be good.
I found something. There's something in the mud. It looks like a footsie.
Just a dog. You know how dogs love berries.
Oh crap, what's that?
Twos and hands, everyone. Time to go.
Harold Elrond.
He's somebody as well. God.
She's here. Like your sister.
Friend? Who's this? I want to live there. Oh, she's back. Okay. Oh shit, that's Elrond. Galadriel, that's the one from the films as well, isn't it? I've just realised. Is it? I think so.
Commander of the Northern Armies, warrior of the Wasteland.
This mark's very existence proves Sauron escaped. He's still out there. The question now is where? I intend to ask of the king a fresh company. And supplies
You
enough
have
to-
only just arrived. It was not your company who defied you out there, but rather you who defied the High King by refusing to heed any limit placed upon you.
Fair.
If after the ceremony that is still your wish, you shall have it.
You hear about the travelers?
Travelers?
Hunters?
Wonder if there's trouble down south.
And what concern is that of yours, Eleanor Brandyfoot?
We have each other. We're safe.
Go on. Help your father.
She's gonna do something silly, isn't she?
Our days of war are over.
Doesn't seem like she's triumphant.
Our days of peace begin.
She looks like she wants to slap him.
As a measure of our gratitude, These heroes shall be granted an honor unrivaled in all our lore, and granted passage across the sea to dwell for all eternity in the blessed realm, the far west, the undying lands of Valinor. They are going home!
I feel like that should be good. And it would be good for anybody else, but not her, because she's got unfinished stuff. And I feel like that was almost deliberate. He obviously knew, because he said, see if she changes her mind after the ceremony.
I suppose some part of me always believed my rest would be here.
This is the gift of your king.
A gift I have decided to refuse. I go to seek the enemy that escaped us in the north, alone, if I must. You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen. Evil does not sleep, Elrond.
I think I recognise that guy. I think he was the guy at the Citadel in Game of Thrones, like the guy on the front desk that was rude to Sam when he first arrived there. I'm probably completely wrong, but that's who he reminds me of. If it's not the same actor, he looks a bit like him. Sorry, it was bugging me.
Evening.
Karaya's in 3 moves.
Ah!
We're on here. Has it really been a fortnight already? Shabby disputes, uneven dice handling.
This fellow, where was he from?
Didn't say east, I think.
And what day was he here?
Oh, let it go, knife ears. It's a bloody patch of grass. One day, our true king will return and pry us right out from under your pointy boots.
Easy, lad. Quench the fire.
Come on, lad.
He seemed a bit angry.
Give me a hand.
Alfred seeds.
I've not seen this flower since I was a child.
Where did you find these?
I had to trade with another healer who was passing through.
Until next time, then.
Soldier.
Have you considered the consequences I might face if the Watchwarden were to discover what it is that you're doing?
Afraid I don't take your meaning.
What does he think he's doing? I may have missed something completely obvious then.
Only twice in known history has a pairing between elves and humans even been attempted.
Oh, okay. The girl.
The High King has declared the days of war are over.
All the 4 outposts are being disbanded.
We're leaving.
Oh. He's not going to want to do that, is he? Is he going to end up with, Galadriel? Not with her, but, like, teaming up together. If they're both staying.
79 years I've been stationed here.
79 years.
It has changed much, Watchward.
But the men who live here have not. The blood of those who stood with Morgoth still darkens their veins.
That was long ago, Watchward.
What's one of them doing here?
I heard you were leaving. Then why are you at my home? Say what you wish to say.
Mother, there's a man here for you.
Another one?
You heal animals too?
What manner of sickness?
She wandered east a few days ago. What was that? Squirted out of it.
How far east?
Where are you going?
Horden's a day's journey. If I leave now, I can reach it by dusk.
I'm going with you.
God.
Be quick about it. He finds us in here, he'll knock our teeth out.
Only spotted it by mistake. Stepped on a lucky board. This is the real bounty.
Yeah, that's not good.
Galadriel was so certain her search should continue.
Same wind that seeks to blow out a fire may also cause its spread.
Then the shadow she sought, you believe it does exist?
Are you acquainted with the work of Lord Celebrimbor?
The greatest of elven smiths, of course. Why do you ask?
He is about to embark on a new project, one of singular importance, and we've decided that you will be working with him.
The skies are strange.
Strange how?
All right, have that grace.
On my way.
How familiar are you with the townsfolk of Horden?
Why?
Oh shit. That must be really uncomfortable to travel like that. Just stood there. Like, could they not have a tray of drinks brought around and stuff?
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot?
Got goosebumps. What is that and where is it going?
But sometimes the lights shine just as brightly reflected in the water as they do in the sky. How am I to know which lights to follow?
Sometimes we cannot know until we have touched the darkness.
So I guess she's not going back there then? What did that just hit? Oh no. I'm sorry, what now? Well, that was interesting. Obviously, it's the first episode, so a lot of it's just introducing characters, kind of setting the scene, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was definitely intriguing. So I'm not sure if Galadriel is in the movies. The name does sound familiar, but that might be just because it's an elvish name and they all kind of sound elfy. Elrond, I think, is the guy from the movie. The old... Not the old, but the older elf guy, the one that was in The Matrix. But again, that I could just be confusing names because they all sound elfish, I'm not sure. It has been a while since I've seen the films or read the books. But yeah, it's for setup it was pretty good. So Galadriel and her brother were obviously the first ones that we were introduced to. She was obviously a child at that point. I'm assuming that was back in the, I can't remember the name of the place where the elves come from, but the place in the west where she was going back to at the end there. Obviously her brother died in the wars. She's decided to kind of take up his cause and get revenge. Well, not get revenge, but like carry on the work that he was doing. But she did seem a little bit over enthusiastic, a little bit kind of too zealous with it, you know, not really caring about the people that were with her and just kind of honing in on the goal, which kind of wasn't really in sight. I mean, okay, they found that old building, the old tower, and they found that big monstery thing, which seemed to have killed a lot of them. But aside from that, you know, and she found the brand as well, but she kind of hasn't found anything else. And I get, you know, she's obviously concerned. She doesn't want the land to be plunged back into war and stuff, and Sauron to take over. But at the same time, to me at least, she felt like she was being a little bit pushy. So I think the king was well within his rights to be like, actually, no, you can just go back to the West. That felt very much like a solution to her impulsiveness, as well as, you know, being a nice thing to do for the others. Obviously, it was good to see the hobbits. They were being very hobbitsy. A little bit concerned for that the younger girl there. I can't remember what her name is. Nora? I can't remember. But yeah, I got a feeling she's going to get into a bit of trouble. Yeah, it's going to take me a little while to get used to sort of names and things. The elfish guy that was patrolling sort of around where the humans were. Oh god, what was his name? Arendir? Something. He's obviously got a bit of a thing for the healer. Bronwyn? I'll get used to the names. I should actually write them down. It seems that all the elves are getting recalled back to wherever it is they're going to go. But he's obviously not wanting to do that because of the healer. He clearly wants to stay with her and doesn't want to leave her there. So, and like he said, he's been there for 79 years, and that's kind of a long time to be anywhere, really. And you'd kind of, I'd imagine, get quite attached to places. So I'm imagining, you know, obviously with what's happened sort of towards the end of the episode with the man meteor, as I'm going to call it, falling out of the sky, I'm imagining he's going to be sticking around. And obviously that cow with the stuff coming out of his udders was not pleasant. So clearly he's going to have to go and see what's going on there. But yeah, Galadriel? I'm probably going to butcher these names horrendously until I kind of get into it a bit more. But Galadriel, the elf woman from the beginning, she was obviously kind of heading back to the West to presumably live out the rest of her life in the happy place, but decided at the last minute that she actually wasn't going to do that, and so kind of jumped off the ship and was swimming in the water. So I'm assuming she's just going to swim back to Middle-earth and carry on with what she was doing before. I got a feeling she's going to team up with Arendir, the elf guy, and possibly the healer as well, and maybe the hobbit girl, but we'll see. But yeah, overall it was a nice start. I think it was a nice introduction. Obviously the stunning landscapes of Middle Earth, you got to see sort of quite a range of places there, so that was cool. I'd quite like to live in most of them, honestly, except for the dark, horrible, spiky looking places. And I'm going to try and get the Rings of Power videos up on Tuesdays and then keep going with the Sandman on Fridays. I think I said this in one of my previous videos that because everything's quite new, uploading might be a bit sporadic for the next sort of month or so, just while I get into a bit of a routine with things. If anything, I'm probably going to be uploading more videos than I would normally. I think I'm going to try and settle down to like 2 videos a week, potentially 3. But yeah, much like the Sandman, I'm not going to read any comments on the Rings of Power videos until I finished recording, just because I don't want any spoilers. So if you do comment, which please do, I'm not ignoring you. I just literally don't want to risk spoilers until I finish recording the show. And then at which point I'll come back and kind of go through them all. I say go through them all, there's probably not going to be many, but you know, if anybody wants to leave any comments, then that's absolutely lovely. And if you want to subscribe to the channel as well, if you've enjoyed the video, then please do like the video, because that's really nice as well, and it does help out. But with that said, I'm going to finish up here, so I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.